It's the Jack
and Cathy
show.
Shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah,
okay,
that,
I think if
Okay.
I'm so cute. So hi, honey.
you know our show started.
Yeah,
Hi.
it did. Our podcast. Are we supposed to do a proper introduction? Hey.
No, that's the music. Remember, Key did that for us.
Yeah.
Thanks. Shout out to Key.
I know. Key.
Crushing it.
That Key is Jack's daughter who lives in Seattle, and she's uber talented on so many levels, and she produces our stuff. And I have to talk closer to the mic.
Well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Key.
This is your day today. You said you had the subject of what we were going to talk about.
Well, I suggested because...
Wait.
What?
You did something earlier that I usually do. You went,
What?
"Hi, sweetie." I usually, on our podcast, go, "Hi, how are you?"
Hi.
As if we haven't seen each other all day.
As if we haven't been joined at the hip since we met.
Ugh.
Yeah. What was that noise?
Oh,
You need a break, do ya?
so need a break. Though it was funny today when we were driving back from Iowa,
Yeah.
how you fell asleep. And I was so looking forward to. I told you this.
You put your headphones on.
Put my headphones on. I was going to listen to a show.
And then I woke up.
I thought you were going to be out for at least an
The
hour.
you were back into the nightmare.
I thought I'm going to get the nightmare.
You were like, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Well, I thought I was going to get an hour of just, watching a show. And then 15 minutes later, like, "Do you want me to drive?" I kept saying,
How awful of me.
Go back.
Yeah. How could I
does-
make such a horrid suggestion?
You know what's funny?
disrupt
I don't
your-
need to listen to this at some later point to know how bad I already sound. I'm so aware.
All right.
But we all, just that little bit of,
Yeah, you need a vacation from me, I think. That's what
no,
we're
I don't need a
getting.
vacation
And we're
from
about
you.
to move in together full time into a house. So,
I don't need a vacation from you.
screwed.
No,
Yep.
I don't need a vacation.
screwed.
Oh, stop it.
but anyway, hi, honey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
You look great.
Do I?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So can we title this "The Dumbest of the Podcasts"? So you want to talk about listener questions, and so I went
Yeah.
to...
So I don't know
good.
how
Frame
long
it.
ago we
Last week.
posted. Okay, last week
Yeah.
we posted a story, or I don't even know how you post because you do it all. But we said, hey, anybody have any questions? And so our one listener, your mom, responded. No, it wasn't your mom, but a couple of people
my
had some
cousin-
questions.
my cousin
Your cousin, my
asked us-
girlfriend Nancy in New Zealand.
Asked a question. My youngest son asked a
Nancers.
question. I think there were 3 more, and I'm normally not like this. I totally forgot to save it.
Yeah.
And so I'm only remembering 3 of the
You're
questions
fired.
now. I'm
You are
totally
so
fired.
Fired.
Well, if I could have a little bit of freedom once in a while, my head would clear up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forgot some of the questions, but I remember 3 of them.
Okay.
One was who has the better athletes, one who has the better burp.
You mean athletic
Of our
children?
kids, athletic children, sorry.
Oh, that was posed by one of your athletic children,
It
perhaps?
was completely, which is classic. And then one was how did we meet? So who's the best burper of the 2 of us? Who burps the best? Probably me.
That would be
Go
you.
ahead, your turn. That's not a burp.
That's all I got.
And then how did we meet? And you said, let's make today's episode about answering listener questions, which you hope to string out for 30 minutes.
No chance? No chance in hell?
You might be-
I don't think we told the story of how we met
Oopsie?
yet. Oopsie?
Yeah.
What?
With your hand.
I don't think we told the story of how we met yet.
Do you want to start there?
Sure.
Okay.
So
This is anyone that knows us has heard this 100 times.
Yeah,
it's
they
my
have.
favorite.
yeah. So
But you have
do I tell the long version or the short version?
well, we've got 25
Yeah,
more minutes,
okay.
so you take your pick.
Start the timer.
Don't you think though that the context is really important here? So you have to feel comfortable talking about your career, right? Because isn't that part of the story?
I don't know. I mean, I was in Chicago.
Okay, you tell the story.
for
I'll
my
be-
job. I
I'll
had
be
taken
quiet.
a job at a great place a few years ago. I was living in Chicago and had moved from Milwaukee to Chicago, had a great place in the Gold Coast, and for the first time in my life, I was trying the dating apps, which I found a horrific, but also I felt like I had no choice. If I was what was I gonna do? Go hang out in bars or whatever, you know? So, and on one of the dating apps, it was Hinge, was the dating app.
Yeah.
You had, I don't know, I think you just liked one of my pictures or
Just
something.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, you have said it was a picture where I stood up in my bestie's wedding. My bestie Carrie got married, like almost 4 years ago. And I was just grinning from ear to ear. And I remember you saying you liked how happy I looked in that picture.
Yep.
And I was. That was a really awesome day. And so I think we just started messaging within the app, and then we exchanged phone numbers in the app, and we were continuing to text a little bit in
It was October
our phones. It was October of 2020. Yeah. And then you soon said, you know, hey, I actually moved out of the Chicago area. I'm in Colorado.
Arizona.
At the time. And you seem nice enough, but I'm going to gracefully bow out. Nice meeting you. Good luck. Bye-bye.
That's what I said.
Yes.
I was kind.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And I thought nothing of it. We hadn't even talked on the phone.
Yep.
But I do remember your profile pictures. I remember seeing that you had one or two with your kids, which of course I was like, okay, his kids look to be the same age as my kids. I like that. Then you had one where you had just finished a hike and you were standing on top of, you know, a mountain, more or less. And then you had one with your guitar. So I thought, I like creative people, so I saw you as an artist. I, you know, of course, didn't know what you did for a living, but if you're creative in any way, I find that appealing. I loved that your climbing picture showed that you were an active person, and I like somebody to be active
It was
with.
a 14er. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't remember your other pictures, really.
You said you downloaded them all, though, and made a shrine,
That is
if I recall.
not
correctly.
even close to the truth.
Well, it sounds like something you would
But
do.
that sounds so cute. Anyway, so you said I moved out of the area. Thanks. Good luck.
I was visiting my daughter I was visiting Alex in Portland at the time, too, and sent you a picture
Yes.
of her and I on a couch.
Chilling on the couch with the dog.
And then I wrote you, I think I wrote you something about that moment. And then a day later was like, yo, I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
I think I even wrote, yo, peace out. Or something like that, didn't I?
Did you really?
Did I? I did
I
not.
don't
I would not
know.
write that. Yo, peace out.
I don't know.
Bruh.
But I wasn't put off by it. I mean, you gotta, you know,
You said you cried.
oh yeah. Yeah,
Sobbed.
I cried. I was so sad.
Okay.
But anyway, I did not read too much into it because with these dating apps, you got to have a tough skin. You got to let things go. You can't be anything personal. You can't get caught up in anything, especially if you haven't even talked on the phone. It was just like, okay, next, swipe,
Yep.
swiping. And after some months and some dates in that world, my girlfriend Carrie, the one actually that I stood up in the wedding with, said, Cathy, you really need to go on Bumble. And I was like, oh, another dating app, like stab my eyes out. Okay. But pretty much whatever Carrie tells me to do, I will do. So I download Bumble. And Bumble, for those that don't know, is a site where the women take the initiative. So a guy cannot like your photo. He cannot send you a message.
Well,
he
we
cannot
can. We
basically-
just don't know if you give a shit about us. So
No, you see nothing.
No. We see women on our app.
Oh, you see the women, but you
Yeah.
can't reach out to
I can't
us.
do it. I can swipe right and say I like you, and it would appear on your thing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe nobody swiped and liked me.
Oh, stop! I'm sure a ton did.
But you were.
As a side note, you are somewhat technically challenged. Correct?
Okay, we're gonna keep moving.
No, just-
I'm
it's
no,
not-
I'm no you.
No, that's what I'm saying. So the nuances of the app may have been lost on you. That's all.
Maybe.
Oh boy, that's
Maybe.
okay.
Yeah, I can't remember anymore. But your profile popped up on Bumble, and I sent you a message saying, "I remember you," and your response to me was good or bad,
I didn't remember you.
meaning that you had no idea who I was.
No idea who you were.
And I used some of the same pictures,
You
and
did.
I remember thinking, so some of the pictures are the same from that other app, and now he's not even remembering who I am. So I'm actually mildly entertained that you don't know who I am. I was
Well,
not offended, as if it was like, how could he not remember this person that he's
didn't-
never spoken to?
You didn't use the Carrie picture the second time around, I don't think.
I don't remember.
You did use the picture of you hiking,
Yes.
and there were, I don't know what mountain range that was.
Yeah. South Dakota.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. I never knew that until now. Mm-hmm. Isn't that something?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and I thought you were like 6'4" because the picture shows your legs. But you have long legs to begin with, but I thought you were way taller than. Not that you're not tall, but I thought you were
Yeah.
way taller than me.
Right.
And so I went, well, we'll see how this goes. And then, but I remember I liked that picture because you're an outdoors person, and that's important to me. So anyway, go ahead, tell the story.
Yeah. So you responded, and I refreshed your memory, and we exchanged phone numbers again, and the old text came up on the phone.
Right, and I went, oh.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, that girl.
Oh.
Yes, that's how you were.
I
You're
was.
like,
Don't.
And and then we actually did talk on the phone, and I said, well, you want to grab a bite to eat in the city, and you were.
But this all happened, to be sure, this was like the 1st of July, or the 6th of July. Like it happened fast.
Yes.
So we talked on the 6th, and we're meeting on the 8th.
Yes.
It was that fast. Okay,
Yes.
keep going.
And I made all the arrangements. I chose a restaurant. I chose a time, all of that. But at that, and you were in the recording studio working on your album.
Right.
And you said, oh, that works out well to meet you in that area because I'm not going to be too far from there. And so, but I changed the plans that night because the Milwaukee Bucks were in, it was like the Final Four then or something.
Oh my God. It was
the finals.
It was the Eastern Conference Championship.
There it is.
Yes, last game.
And the Bucks were killing it, and they ended up winning.
They did.
But I said, I need to go somewhere with a television.
Because you want to watch the game.
I wanted to watch the game.
And side note, I'm going to ask you, did you even watch the game at all?
I tried.
Did not.
But you and I talked and talked and talked and talked.
You were mesmerized by this.
I was.
Okay.
I
So,
liked
but can
you.
can I
Wow.
tell my side of the story now?
Okay.
All right. So had gone on several dates that were nice, because God forbid any of them are listening right now. They were nice, but
They're
there was
not.
just,
They're not listening. They don't give a shit about you anymore.
hi Mom,
Except your mom.
and thanks Key for listening to this because you have to. We talked about this. I went on dates because I figured I'm just going to go out and have fun, not that kind of fun. Just wanted to get out of the house and have a drink and stuff like that. And so when we reconnected, we talked on the phone, and I know I instantly got into a deep discussion about work and work from
Yeah,
home
you
and
did.
what's going on. And I got really deep
you
into
have
the pool.
a philosophy on how work culture should be because we were in the throes of COVID, really.
And you were talking about going back to the office, and
Yeah.
I said I thought
Yep.
it was bullshit to make people go back. And we had this. I think I hung up the phone going, she's never going to go out with me, because I was crazy intense right out of the box, right? And then, so everybody knows, I was simply looking to waste time because the studio is in a part of the city that takes a while to get out of the city. And then by the time I would get out of the city and get on the express, it would take me 2 hours to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, all right, if I meet this chick at 5 o'clock, the worst that comes of it is I have a beer, maybe a little something to eat, and then I don't get stuck in traffic.
Right.
So we've talked before on a ton of other podcasts because this is our 8th, by the way. We said last one was our 6th. It was actually our 7th. This is our 8th.
We lose track. We have so many now.
So, well, I've got, that's on me. I got to get better at that. Well,
This is all on you.
Well, this is your idea. I'm just executing on it.
Yeah,
You're the
thank
idea
goodness.
person. I'm just the...
That's why we're meant to be together.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
very good
lots of ideas
ideas.
and no execution. So thank you.
So, and then I will tell everyone our perspective of the night because I think that's important too. But for me, I just wanted to waste time. That was it.
Yeah.
And so we've talked in other podcasts about how I did everything different with you.
Yeah.
Right. And so I went, well, fuck it. She's going to show up, have a drink. I don't really give a shit. And also I looked like crap that night. I wasn't dressed up because I was sitting in a studio. I think I just had a t-shirt and jeans on, right?
I think so.
I was pretty casual. I know that. Like way casual. So and I didn't even bother bringing something else because I knew I was going to meet you. So I didn't even bother bringing anything. Studio ends. I work my way over there. You make a change of plans. I have to admit, the first time I heard, hey, do you mind if we change plans? I went, here it goes.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've been down that path before. Where
Yeah,
there's a change of plans. Next thing you know, you're not meeting. And sometimes it's because the night before they met somebody else. Right? Because that happens. Right? I don't blame anyone for that. So anyway, go ahead. You tell the rest of the story now. So I was in total blow off mode. Didn't care.
Yeah, and I was in work. I was at work, coming from work, and I just decided, I'm just gonna go have a drink and a bite with this guy. What the hell? I was pretty indifferent to the outcome,
Yeah.
And I felt like that was a healthier place for me to be. And coming from work, I had little, if perhaps no makeup on or very little makeup on, and was wearing a white t-shirt and some red chinos and some sneaks.
I remember the
and
chinos, yeah.
Had a backpack on with my laptop in it, and I walked over from work. And I remember that you were texting me some funny things about, does Milwaukee even have an NBA team? and I thought, if he's serious, I'm just going to keep on walking.
But it was
and not
cute
even
because I sent you an emoji of Jordan holding up 6 fingers.
I showed my coworker the text and said, if he is serious, I should not even bother if he doesn't.
And then
know
you asked
a little
if you
bit
should
about
shower. You're like, should I clean up first? And I'm like, I love smelling breath and sweaty armpits or
I
something
remember
like
this
that.
specifically. I said, I can either keep the same time or we can push it out a little bit. It depends if you want to meet Cathy with her teeth brushed or
Right.
Cathy straight from work. So
And I said, dirty teeth are fine.
it pretty much.
Right. I said, come sweaty if you want to. Something
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, I don't care. And then I was already at the bar and I thought I was quite charming because I wrote to you, what would you like to drink?
Yeah.
And you said, I remember this.
I don't remember.
You said, surprise me.
Oh, okay.
So I just had a beer waiting for you.
Okay. And that was perfect.
The irony of the beer I had waiting for you is it's your dad's favorite beer.
A Guinness.
I had a Guinness and I had something else. And I said, you take your pick.
Yeah.
But so you saw me sitting there and then you pretty much fainted because of my beauty.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, close to that, right? Like someone had to
Close
catch
to
you. Are
that.
you
Your
okay?
Your
And you went,
beauty.
is that him? Remember that? It was almost like one of those Disney things.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell your story. Tell the story.
No,
By the way, this is taking 19 minutes.
just to tell the story of
We
how
only
we
have
met.
10 minutes left.
Everybody
Yeah.
fell asleep already.
No, I think
should
it's a good
condense
story.
that,
But
really.
you really haven't.
What?
Well, when I still think the funniest part is you're like, how did you not remember me?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get over that I didn't remember you at all.
Well, I wasn't offended. I wasn't offended. Your photographs, if I remember correctly, were the same. So if I changed my photographs, maybe that was not the trigger. But I'd like that you weren't caught up in, looks of any kind. I thought that was refreshing, and so and I just had this very easy attitude towards our date. And when I walked it, you had made me giggle on the way with some like funny texts. And I thought, okay, well, he's making me smile already. So that's got to be good. And I walked in the bar smiling.
You did. And you walked in smiling because I think I sent you a text right before you walked in.
Yeah. And we talked for 6.5 hours at least. We ended up having 2 meals
We had 2
at the
meals.
bar.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually went back to that bar to visit the bartender.
On our anniversary.
Yeah.
On our 6 month.
At our 6
Yeah,
month
and he remembered
anniversary.
us.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. So
That was how we met.
Yeah, and we've pretty much been, I don't know, talking.
Well, we can tell more
together
stories
ever
later.
since.
We can
Yeah.
tell how we met part 2 one day.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Because that to me is funny too. How we hung out. I'm not going to tell all of the story of the second date.
Oh, you better not.
No, we'll not.
That will go.
Those
that
are
will
our
go
things only.
with both of us to our grave.
Okay, so that's how we met.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer the other questions, or do you want to get to paired because we have 9 minutes left?
Well,
I've got an idea. How about I shift gears?
we can go a little over 30.
No, let's do
People
this.
can just
No,
turn
let's
us off and
shift
walk
gears.
away.
Let's this whole week, let's post more questions of people so we could have a listener day where we're just going to answer questions of our listeners, which means my mom,
Nancy,
Sam,
your
my cousin
kids,
Keith.
maybe my kids.
So we'll do it again and we'll say, hey, it's really critical to we want to have a show that can answer questions for you guys about us.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to have I just thought of this. I'd like to have a show where we talk about dating a little bit.
Okay.
Like recommendations, not advice like a psychologist would give, or just our experiences.
yeah.
And I don't want to go down the path
what-
of this guy was hot. I wish I
Kind
would
of
have
what you and
right.
I've discussed this, kind of what,
Right.
like, if your best friend
Were to say, what would
were
you
to
do?
say,
Right.
who would you date? It's
Yeah.
who your best friend would
Yeah.
choose for you.
Right. So, okay. So that's how we met. Day 2 and on is funny. And we've essentially not been separated since.
Yeah.
Right?
The joke is that I sort of chased you after.
Well, to me, the funniest part about the whole night that we kind of glossed over was that you kept asking, would I like to do this? And I said, sure. And you planned out the whole freaking night.
I did.
And then to me, the second date is even funnier.
So the first date was on a
It was on a
Thursday.
Saturday, we met at my sister's.
July 8th last year, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And the second date, I think, we talked that next day, Friday, and I said, well, what are you doing this weekend? You said, well, I might be at my sister's house in Wisconsin. And then I more or less invited myself over to your sister's house.
Said, I can come by.
I can come over there.
I'm not far from there.
It's really close.
And it was an hour and a half away.
And you're like, oh, you want to come here? I should probably ask my sister if the strange lady that I met
2 days
36 hours ago could come to her home.
So stupid crazy.
I know, but I did go.
And then we have been together.
I've been, we sat and chatted with your sister. It was just so easy.
We've been together
with
ever
you.
since.
Yeah.
That's the scary
And we
part.
talk nonstop, hence the podcast.
Hence, when you were sleeping today, I thought I'd get a chance to watch a show.
Was I snoring?
Oh, no, you weren't snoring. You haven't snored in a while.
Really?
Yeah, unless I'm so used to it now.
It's hard to imagine.
Oh, that's a question we can answer.
So adorable like me snores like a drunken sailor.
I remember the first night that I spent the night with you, how I thought I was going to die. And I did. Do you remember? You came out to the couch in your living room and I was there freezing because I didn't know where your blankets were.
Those uncomfortable early times when you have sleepovers and you're like, I don't know what to do. It's not my space. Where are her blankets? How do you turn the heat up?
Well, and I wasn't comfortable enough to do. Now I can just like give you a little poke in the ribs, right? A little, and you'll go, and you'll go right
you
back
poke
to
me with your toenails.
Well, that's because I got to cut them more. That's a totally different show. Pedicures for Jack. Okay, want to do paired?
Okay.
Let's do paired.
So I picked out
Oh,
a
wait.
paired
So
question.
if the paired people don't believe us, we reached out to Paired this week and emailed them and said, If you guys have not tried this app, even if you're starting a relationship, if you're in one for a long time, I don't care what age you are. Paired is a wonderful app that helps you connect with your partner.
Yeah.
So even if you are in a great place with your partner, it still would be a good app to use. And if you're struggling, it might be a way to reconnect. So we reached out to Paired and said, hey, would you sponsor the show? And I'm hopeful that maybe they'll respond back because they gave us a little response that we're sending it off to marketing. So we love the app. We use it. We do it at least 3 or 4 times a week. Laugh quite a bit at the responses. So I always turn this over to you now. The first episode was a train wreck with Paired because we read the questions. But download the app, try it with your partner, and
talking out of my ass ever since. So
yeah, well, you take over. You take over the Paired question.
Okay,
so what's the question?
So the Paired question I chose today was, how do you deal with salary, not celery?
We have a
salary
lot
differences in your relationship.
Celery differences are big for us because I'm not a big fan of it, and you love celery.
I like celery in my Bloody Marys.
Well, that's a good place for celery. Yeah. So we don't have any celery differences.
All right. Salary differences.
Salary.
No, I'm trying to enunciate.
I know.
And I'm making
Now
it
you're
worse.
making it more like celery.
Sorry.
That's the
Okay.
Wisconsin in you there. Okay.
And your response was, ask me again when I run out of savings.
No, that was your response, silly goose. You were the one that wrote that.
That was my response. Which is soon, actually.
And thank you for letting Paired be a sponsor of ours. We don't get the questions right, but we enjoy the app.
Well, I will tell you that I chose this one because we are closing on a house a week from tomorrow together, and we have had some heart-to-heart serious conversations about the money aspect of this endeavor and how we're going to define things with that and split things 50-50 and also do some real live documents with lawyers to draft things up. And we're being smart about it, which I think is a really interesting. We haven't done it yet, but we have the lawyer, we have the paperwork to fill out, and we're definitely going to do it. And once we do, we can share that process with people because I think that's really important. I think you get into a new relationship and talking about money can be uncomfortable and it can be divisive too, what the expectations are around that. And, so we can tackle that as we go.
I love the fact that we've talked about salary we've talked about everything early on. I really want to have an episode on our advice, and I would love to get like a Dr. Solomon as a guest and all these other experts. Yeah. And they might say, we've done everything ass backward. Yeah. Right. Wouldn't it be funny? Would you be bummed out if we found out that they're like, you guys are doing it wrong? And here we are going, but we're getting along
but then,
so well.
You know what? That's an episode too. Like we did it wrong and we didn't realize it. And now we're righting the ship, or something like that. But so anyway, I answered.
Right. The question was,
ask me when I run out of savings.
Right.
With an emoji. So I was being a little cheeky, kind of, but it's a little nerve-wracking to buy a house, but it's a good buy, and I know it's smart.
And your job is 100% commission. So you're always
I'm a realtor in Milwaukee, and so part of that is watching stuff, and we got a property that before it went to market. And so we got a decent...
Yeah. No, but I mean, your salary can go up and down, so that can make you. Yes. That can nerve you out a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Right. And your response was, "It has never been an issue. I could not care less if you make more money than me. If anything, I encourage you to achieve whatever you desire. And one day we will have a great business built by both of us." Now, what's interesting here is, what if you're assuming that you make more money than me?
No, there's no assumption. All righty. That's not. You sure? That's not the assumption.
I could not care less if you make more money than me.
Because that's what a lot of people, I think that's the gender roles that people think, men would think that they can't handle.
Right.
And I don't care how much money you make.
I know.
I want you to be happy with what you do.
And it is important that I continue to make money because I want to contribute to this relationship. I don't want you picking up every tab. I don't want you.
Well, that is less to do with salary and more to do with me that's a chivalry, old school type thing.
Yeah.
That is very little to do with salary. I don't think of it that way. I think I'm the guy. And I know that's not the right way to think of it always. However, I know I go there more often than not. You know that.
Yeah.
I want you to make $1 billion so I don't have to do shit.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'll make $1
If
bazillion.
Paired would sponsor us
For $1 bazillion.
Ooh, let's say it together. For $1 bazillion.
$1
Let's try it again. If Paired would sponsor us. No, I'll say that. If Paired would sponsor us for $1 bazillion. Brought to you by Paired. That was good.
That was good.
That was cute.
Oh, you have a good announcer voice.
I
Actually, you really
every
do.
once in a while, I can drop my voice down here if you need me to.
Now you sound creepy. Okay. Let's see what this says.
That's it. What did they say?
How answering this will help my relationship. So it's a little drop down in the app. It says researchers found that arguing about money is by far the highest predictor of whether a couple will get divorced. Those arguments tend to take longer to recover from and are more intense than others.
It's never been an issue, not even close.
I've got, not with us.
Not with us.
But I do have a few memories in the old memory bank.
Yeah, of having that.
From life past that.
That's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. Earn what you can earn, and leave it at that. And I'm not here to be competitive with you. I am competitive on this app because I can't stand that you always get it right.
Speaking of which, did you see the last I answered today's questions?
No, we can't do that.
Do you want
That's
to?
tomorrow.
I know we're not going to answer them all, but look, I got 4 out of 5. You got 2 out of 5.
Fuck
So
my
I
life.
won.
I don't. I'm going to talk to the people at Paired because that's not. It.
Cathy won. Look at that.
I know, but
Look
just
at how
all that
cute
screams is that
It
you know
says
more about
Cathy
me
won.
again. Okay.
Cathy won.
Stop, because my answers are good for you. All right. Well, that's the end of our show, folks. Hope you've all enjoyed learning about how Kath and Jack met. Your turn.
All right. I think that's it.
Okay.
That's all we have.
Okay, so next week we'll try to do an episode where we answer questions. Maybe this is our 8th episode.
Yep.
I had a good time. This goes by fast, doesn't it?
It does. We babble easily.
I hope my mom likes it.
I know.
I think Nancy's the only other person that listens to it, too.
I know she does.
Yeah.
Love you, Nancers.
Love you, Nan. I haven't met you yet, but we will.
I know. We have to go to New Zealand to see her.
All right. Peace, baby.
Okay? All right.
That's it. Peace.
Peace.
Later.